This week's question is whether or not we should scan attachments before opening or downloading them. My name is Steve, this is TQA Weekly. That is a question from one of my subscribers on my YouTube channel, and we are just going to talk about emails, email attachments, and all the possible dangerous vectors of viral infection a simple email can have on your system, and why you might just have to download that attachment to see if it's really safe. And we're going to start off with one thing. I have said this repeatedly, I'm not the only one. It is dangerous to open an email attachment without scanning them. And the source of the email is irrelevant. Your friends, family, co-workers can all get infected too. It can happen by accident to even the most vigilant people, and therefore treat all emails as dangerous. That way you scan all attachments and you are playing it as safe as you possibly can. So we got that pushed aside. Let's talk about some other stuff. Like the fact that most of your emails are sent via plain text. Because any email can leave from one service to another, they do inherently go through other third-party servers, all of which can modify an email. They can introduce scripting, they can introduce attachments, they can modify things in them. So you can't inherently trust an email because it can be modified by anybody. They are all susceptible to a man-in-the-middle attack. Therefore, you're going to have to treat them all, again, as dangerous. So, once it leaves the sender and goes to the receiver, and it leaves the same service, there is no way to guarantee that everything in that email is safe. And everyone can add the words that it has been scanned by an antivirus. So even those words are not proof of it being scanned. And this is why you will have to download the attachment in order to see whether or not it is safe. The good news is most Trojans and malware and viruses actually have to be initiated first for them to become dangerous, which is why it is safe to scan but dangerous to open. So if a file has been found to be containing a virus, your antivirus will quarantine it and you can delete the file. That way your computer is not compromised. However, these are not even the most dangerous vectors in an email. Starting with the least of the two dangerous vectors, images. Images are basically programs. They can contain viruses and malware. Therefore, most email clients that you install just allow you for whitelisting. They don't blacklist anymore, they whitelist. So they don't load any images by default, and this is to stay safe. You're the one who whitelists everybody one at a time, or you just allow the email to open once. And that way, you don't get infected by accidents, just by loading the email. And for most emails, it's not important to see the pictures. Reading the text is all you really need. And the most dangerous vector, which is scripting, is always turned off by default. And that is the easiest way to infect a computer, especially if the email client is not sandboxed correctly. So, you have to be more worried about scripting and images more than attachments, especially if you scan all attachments before opening. So remember, anybody can be infected and any email can be contaminated. Do you really want to take that chance? And of course, you can only scan attachments in your possession. You can't trust the servers anyway, so you're going to have to download it, scan it, and if it is infected, like I said, it will be quarantined. So I hope that answers the question of whether or not you have to scan attachments before opening or downloading, and I hope the rest of you understand that emails themselves are far more dangerous than you initially thought. So like this episode if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those that you think can benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can see the show notes on this episode, past others, find other ways of subscribing, and of course, use the contact form to email me directly. And if you want to see me play video games, I play on Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, and I am currently playing The Witcher 2, and you can ask your questions there too. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.